Okay, friends. So, in the previous lecture of the frequency modulation, we have discussed about the sideband frequency produced in the frequency modulated wave. Now, in this lecture, we will discuss the power relation, means the before the modulation and after the modulation. What is the change in the power? So, let us see what is the expression for the frequency modulated wave. So, already you know that the FM wave we can write as V is equal to Vc into sine omega Ct plus Mf into cos omega Mt. This is the mathematical expression for a frequency modulated wave. Then in the previous lecture we have discussed how we can expand this. So if we expand this expression using the Bessel function, then this expression we can write as a Vc into J0 Mf into a sine omega Ct plus we have a second term that is a Vc into J1 Mf into a sine omega C minus omega n into T minus sine omega C plus omega n into T. The third term will be a Vc into J2 Mf. Then again in the bracket we have sine omega C minus 2 omega n into T minus sine omega C plus 2 omega n into T, and the same way we can write a fourth term that is Vc J3 Mf, then the sine omega C minus 3 omega n into T minus sine omega C plus 3 omega n into T. And in this way, here, if we expand the expression using the Bessel function, then it is an infinite term. Now, in this expression, last time I already mentioned that the first term is representing a carrier wave. This is the carrier wave, and this is my a first order sideband. This one is a second order sideband. This one is a third order sideband, and in this way the frequency modulated wave is a infinite number of the sideband. But now, what is the amplitude of the carrier wave? Remember, original amplitude of the carrier wave is Vc. But now it is multiplied with the J0 Mf. So here, whatever the J0, J1, J2, J3 is there, it is called a first kind of the Bessel function, and it is a function of a modulation index. So J0 is representing a amplitude here, Vc into J0 Mf is representing the amplitude of the carrier wave. Vc into J1 Mf is representing the amplitude of the first order sideband. Same way this is representing a second order sideband. Now, how this value of the J0, J1, J2 is changing with the time, changing with the modulation index, and for that in a previous lecture I already given a table. So here if we see, look at the table again. Here, if you see that the modulation index is here, this is from 0.25 on 1.52. Then for this different value of the modulation index, what is the amplitude of your carrier wave? Amplitude of the carrier, this is representing amplitude of the carrier wave. This is the first order sideband. second order sideband, third order sideband, and already mentioned, already explained the table in the previous lecture. Then in the previous lecture, I already mentioned that it is an infinite number of the sideband, but all the sidebands are not taking part for the carrying the information, because this sideband, some of the sideband has a very small amplitude and it is not a significant. That last one I want to mention, what is the significant sideband? Significant sideband means that it has the amplitude greater than 5% of the carrier wave. And here already you can see this is a less than a 5%, so you can neglect this, you can neglect this, and you can neglect this. So, and then you can find out what is the significant number of the sideband. And already I have given a relation that the significant number of the sideband is given as Na plus 1. Means if my modulation index is 3, then the number of the significant sideband will be a 4. If the modulation index is 5, then the significant sideband will be a 6. So, here approximately you can find out what is the bandwidth, and last one we have discussed the bandwidth is given by 2 into a delta F plus Fm. What is delta F? Delta F is called a peak frequency deviation and Fm is a modulating frequency. So, this is known as the Carson rule, and you can approximately find out the bandwidth of the signal. Correct? Now let us see what is the power relation. So here before the modulation we have only a carrier signal. After the modulation we have the carrier signal as well as the lower sideband frequency and the upper sideband frequency also. So here if we look at this, then if I want to write the total power after the modulation, then we can write as here we can write this power, that is a power of FM wave, we write as a PT, that is the total power, and the total power is what? It is a summation of a carrier power plus a power of the lower sideband and upper sideband, that is the first order. Then the power of the lower sideband, upper sideband are second order. So I can write the PC plus 2P1 plus 2P2 plus 2P3 and so on. So what is the P1? P1 is the power of a first order lower and the upper sideband, and that's why I have multiplied by 2. Same way P2 is the power of the lower sideband and upper sideband both. Therefore it is of a second order. So it is a 2P2. Same way we have 2P3, and this expression I can write as a PC plus 2 into a P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on. Correct? Now, for the calculation of the power, we know that we have this formula I into V, or we can write a V square by R, or we can use the I square into R. Any one of these formula we can use for calculating the power. Here we have the information regarding the amplitude, means the voltage. So we will use this formula of V square by R for calculating the power. So here if I want to write the power, that is a power of a carrier wave, then we can write as, now what is the amplitude of the carrier wave? Amplitude of the carrier wave is Vc into J0 MF. Remember, this is the amplitude of the carrier wave. So we can write a Vc into J0 MF the whole square divided by R. That is the power of a carrier wave. Same way here, we can write 2 into, it is a 2 into bracket. Now the power of a first order sideband. And what is the amplitude of the first order? Vc into J1. So we can write a Vc into J1 whole square divided by R. Same way, the Vc into J2 whole square divided by R plus a Vc into J3 whole square divided by R, and we can have a infinite sum. Correct? We can calculate this power. And here if we see that Vc square by R, if I will take common, because it is a common in all the terms. So Vc square by R is common, then we have a J0 square plus 2 into a J1 square plus J2 square plus J3 square and so on. Here Vc square by R is nothing but it is my original power, that is a carrier power, unmodulated power. And now it is multiplied with this term. So 2 into a J1 square plus J2 square plus J3 square and so on. So this is the expression for a total power of a carrier wave. Now from the table, here if you calculate this, means suppose for I am taking a MF is equal to 2, and for that I will put the value of what is the J0, J1, J2, J3, then you will find that whatever the bracket term is there, it is going to be a unity. That is the property of the Bessel function. So this term is going to be unity. It means my total power is equal to a carrier power. In case of the frequency modulation, so after the modulation, the power of a wave is not going to change. But whatever the carrier power, remember, whatever the carrier power is there, it is going to be a redistributed amongst all the sideband frequency. So it is not necessary that the carrier power of a wave before and after modulation it will be same, because this power is going to be distributed in the sideband frequency. And if you take the summation according to this bracket, then always it comes out to be 1, means after the modulation there will not be change in the power. So if we see the simple logic, in a frequency modulation the amplitude of the signal is not changing. It means the power of the signal, frequency modulated wave, is also not going to change. And this is the advantage of a frequency modulation, that the wastage of the power is almost negligible. While in case of the amplitude modulation, you remember that the carrier power is carrying the 2/3 power, and actually the carrier doesn't have any information. Only the useful power was a 1/3 of the carrier power. Here the total power is same as it is like a carrier wave, and therefore there is no wastage of the power in a frequency modulation. Now let us see one example. So through this example you will means the idea about the power will be clear to you. So what is the example? That 15 watt unmodulated carrier is frequency modulated with a sinusoidal signal such that the peak frequency deviation is a 3 kHz. So here if you note down, and the peak frequency deviation, that is the delta f, is given a 3 kHz. The frequency of modulated signal is 1 kHz. So FM is 1 kHz. Calculate the average power output by summing the power for all the sideband frequency component. Correct? So here we have to calculate. So before the modulation, power is given a PC is equal to a 15 watt. Now we have to calculate what is the power after the modulation means the total power. So first of all we will calculate what is the modulation index. So modulation index is given as MF is equal to, according to the definition, delta F by FM. So here this is a 3 kilohertz and FM is 1 kilohertz. So my modulation index is going to be 3. Means the number of the significant sideband here, that is a NF plus 1. So 3 plus 1. So the significant sidebands are 4. So if I will calculate the power up to a 4 sideband frequency, then I can get a total power of a modulated wave. So what is the expression? That the PT is given as PC into a J0 square plus 2 into J1 square plus J2 square plus J3 square, and we have 4 sidebands, so I will write up to 4. Correct? This is equal to, and here the this is equal to PC means it is a 15 watt and J0 square. Remember. So what is my modulation index? Modulation index is 3. So I have to look out for from the table I have to find out what is the amplitude of the carrier wave for MF is equal to 3. And here if you look at this is MF is equal to 3. So these are the values which we have to consider for the calculation. Correct? So here you can see that carrier amplitude is minus 0.26. So I will write a minus 0.26 whole square plus 2 into, now what is the amplitude of the first order sideband? First order sideband amplitude is 0.34 square plus the amplitude of a second order sideband, that you can see it is a 0.49 the square plus amplitude of the third order sideband is a 0.31 square, and the amplitude of the fourth one is a 0.13 square. Correct? We do not consider what is the amplitude of the fifth and the sixth because their amplitude is very small. They are not a significant sideband. Correct? And here if we calculate the 15 into bracket minus 0.26 whole square, so it will be a 0.0676 plus 2 into 0.34 will be a 0.1156 plus it is a 0.2401 plus 0.0961, and the last term will be 0.0169. Remember. And here, if you take the summation of all these, it comes out to be 1.005. And therefore, the total power after the modulation is approximately, it is a 15 watt. So, here through this example, you can see that the before the modulation and the after modulation, there is no change in the power. Okay? So, in the next lecture, we will discuss about how we can generate the frequency modulated wave.